Hello, I'm Steven, the calculator guy, and this might be a bit of a video. So by request, and also because I wanted to do it, we're doing an intro to the Terra Luna ecosystem. Now, Terra Luna is non-EVM, so it's a little bit different than the other chains where you can simply connect them to your MetaMask wallet and get going just like you would with Ethereum. So you need a different kind of wallet. The first thing you want to do is get a TerraStation wallet. Now I use the Chrome extension. You can also get the application, or you can get the phone app if you opt to use DeFi on your phone, daring individual that you may be. So you can click this link if you want to for the Chrome add-on. That's what I use. You can also just, if you're using Firefox or Brave or whatever else it may be, and then just click Add to Chrome, and use this little weird extension button to pin it, unpin, pin, and you set up your wallet, right? You'll have some sort of, I forget if Terra is a seed phrase or some sort of string of characters. It's something. You'll get some sort of identifying key. Save that. Make sure it's safe. And then you're ready to go. Now, after that, you need, like you do with all chains, you need some sort of gas money, right? So you can use centralized exchanges pretty easily. I haven't actually ever had an issue with withdrawing from a centralized exchange, withdrawing Luna or UST from a centralized exchange onto my TerraStation wallet. So I'm going to show you how to use KuCoin really quickly because that's sort of my go-to. One thing to know, and one thing that's really neat, is that on Terra or Luna or Terra Luna, you can use either Luna or UST. You can use either one of those coins for gas. So whichever one you want to send to your wallet, you can. But we're going to look at Luna. Word on the street is that Luna gas is like slightly cheaper, but also Luna is a much more volatile investment. However, Luna is sort of an investment. So, all sorts of pros and cons and cost-benefit analysis that you can make. So you click withdraw. You guys could probably guess how to do this. Go to Luna, and then your wallet address, you want to make sure you're using your TerraStation wallet address, which is going to say Terra something blah blah blah. Now once you do this, your ERC20 is going to get blocked out, so you can't even withdraw to the wrong chain, which is useful. So you click Terra, no memo needed, you'll put your Luna amount, you'll send it on its way, and it should get there relatively quickly. It usually gets there like super fast. So there you go. And all of the centralized exchanges are going to be relatively similar to this, where basically you're going on there, you're buying your Luna, you're clicking withdraw, you're selecting the right chain, you're putting in your Terra address, or selecting the right network rather, and then sending it. And that's, it's going to be pretty simple. There's also, however, bridging. So if you're like a true DeFi guy or girl, or whatever you happen to be, here you go. You have the bridge. And this is pretty cool because you can go from Binance Smart Chain, which has like negligible gas fees, or you can go from Harmony, which the gas fees are like a breeze of air. If a breeze wafts by, gas is paid for. Really, it's like tiny bits of amounts. So you can bridge from any of these to Terra. You just select it, and then make sure your destination address is your Terra station address. You don't want to accidentally put in like your Harmony 1 address or your Ethereum address, though I don't even know if it would let you do that, to be honest. Let's just see if I grab my Ethereum wallet and paste it in here. Let me do it. I want to see if it'll let me do it. Copy. Oh, invalid address. Cool. All right, awesome. So it won't even let you put in a non-TerraStation address. So that's cool. You'll click your asset, you'll put your amount, and you'll send it on its way. Very cool. The goal for me is like to somehow, someday be in a sustaining system of just DeFi. So sort of get away from centralized exchanges and be just in decentralized exchanges, maybe find some sort of decentralized card, some sort of decentralized debit card. That would be awesome. I think Alice may be working on that. Not Alice like a person, Alice like a protocol. So there we go. We've now successfully gotten our Luna or UST. You can use either one for gas onto our wallet, what are we going to do? Well, if you want, there's a scanner, right? You want to sort of explore transactions, see how they work, by all means, go ahead. We're not going to look at the scanner, but we will look at the top protocols. Now, the top protocols that I am including are not necessarily the top protocols on DeFi Llama. And the reason for that is because I have included what I find to be the most compelling yield farming protocols, and the most easy to access and understandable protocols, and the ones that I think people who are coming onto this chain will gravitate towards and enjoy the most. Now, there are other protocols you can go ahead and look at and scope if you want to. Of course, I think I can include the DeFi Llama link in the description. There's going to be tons of overlap. I think it's like an 80% overlap, actually. There's just a few that I opted not to cover, either for personal reasons, and by personal reasons, it's just that I can't say that I agree with the math on those protocols, and so I'm still doing more research to make sure that either I understand my misunderstanding, or that I'm not promoting something whose advertised either APR or APY is inaccurate. So that's where I'm coming from and why I chose the ones that I chose. All right, let's just get into it. Starting off with TerraStation. So, the most basic thing you might do is like stake your Terra, right? Stake your Luna. You stake your Luna. You're getting Luna. That's awesome. You love it. And you're also getting airdrops. So where would you do that, right? Well, you'd want to go to station.terra.money. Here's the dashboard that you'd be looking at. You can look at the staking return. Now this is like you can look at the 7-day staking return, 14-day, and all that kind of stuff. But so this is like a recent estimate. It's not really going to tell you a projected APR or anything, but there you go. So 8.52%. If you want to stake, go over to staking. All sorts of different options here, but if you want to go with like the top ones, you can definitely do that. You can look at the validator commission, and you might be tempted to go with the lowest commission because low commission means potentially more APR for you. However, I don't know, let's just look at one of these random ones. So even though this commission is like 9.5%, which is less than 10%, it can go up to 100%, which means if you're staking there, your commission can go way high, and your APR can get eaten into. So if you look at one like, I don't know, Hashed, for example, the max commission rate is 20%. So there's less potential for an increased commission that's out of control. And the max daily commission change is 1%. So it's not going to go to 20% overnight. All right, so keep that in mind. You stake there, you'll get rewarded in Luna, you get airdrops. And if you want to find your airdrops, well, terradrops.io. Right, you'll head over to TerraDrops. You can claim your airdropped tokens, and you can see all the great ones that have been airdropped so far. Nexus Protocol, Mirror, Anchor, Pylon, all staples of the Terra ecosystem at this point. You can see the ones that are up and coming, right? So maybe you're interested in these ones. Who knows? There's other ways, though. Other ways to stake your Terra or your Luna. Gosh, I'm going to keep calling it Terra this whole video. I'm sorry. Your Luna. So the first one, the most popular, probably like for many people, this is the first place they're going to go when they enter onto the Terra ecosystem. It's Anchor, right? Anchor. Anchor is like the anchor of this network. So Anchor is where you do the whole getting 19 point something percent APY on your UST, which is a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous yield on stables. And it's amazing how consistent it is. And this is the thing that made, in my opinion, this network. Without this, like, sure, there'd be some cool mechanisms, but like this itself is such a draw. It's so cool. All right. So anyways, you would go over to Earn if you wanted to do like the UST thing where you deposit UST, and like, how 19.47? That's so good for a stable. Sorry, what was I doing? We were staking, or we were kind of staking. So what you can do here is you can bond your Luna for B Luna, and you'll get like 8 point something percent. You'll get this sort of same percent APR. However, you're going to get paid in UST instead of Luna. And so you go to Yeah, claim all rewards. You go to my page, and this is where you would claim your rewards. So pretty cool, right? And then you also additionally have BLuna, which you can do a whole bunch of different things with. So you can, well, we'll get into that a little bit later. This is sort of an exploration of the chain more than it is anything else. So that's Anchor. Anchor is this really cool protocol where you can put your UST, get AUST. One thing to note is that AUST is an interest-bearing token. So AUST increases intrinsically in value over time by this 20% APY. So when you put like 100 UST here, you're not going to get 100 AUST, because AUST is appreciating intrinsically in value. So you may put 100 UST and get like 95 AUST or 90 AUST, but the AUST is worth more than the UST. So you still have $100 worth of AUST, but $100 of AUST is not 100 AUST, because AUST is more valuable than UST, and it is increasing in value intrinsically by this APY percentage. If you want to learn more about interest-bearing tokens, type in the calculator guy interest-bearing tokens into YouTube, and hopefully it'll pop up. They're really cool. I love interest-bearing tokens. I'm all about them. I want as many options to collateralize my interest-bearing tokens or to stake my interest-bearing tokens as possible. So the next thing we're going to look at is Stater. Stater is a really cool protocol where you can take your Luna and stake it and get a higher APR than you would have on the Terra Station, while also collecting airdrops. So I think that's super cool. Like for example, you go to Airdrop Plus, you deposit your Luna here, and well, you would be able to see the airdrops and stuff if you deposit anything here. But so these are the validators that it's utilizing. So you could, if you wanted to, go to the Terra Station and, split your Luna up between these three validators manually, but what this is doing is it's doing it for you. And then you can go to Portfolio and sort of see here we go, see your rewards, and your rewards are going to be, bless you, in SD. There you go, or Luna, you can swap back and forth. And that's pretty much it. So it's a pretty cool, and you can look at your airdrops as well and withdraw those airdrops. Pretty cool protocol that allows you to get potentially additional APR on your Luna while also being eligible for airdrops. So if the opportunity for more APR is there, of course I'm going to go with the opportunity that allows me to get more APR. Now, that said, TerraSwap is this hidden gem that people know about it, but new people into the Terra ecosystem don't. And when I'm saying know about it, I mean know how to really utilize it. So if you have been around the Terra ecosystem for a long time, this is old news to you. But it's a swap, sure. But that's not the hidden amazing part about TerraSwap. The hidden amazing part about TerraSwap is that you can provide liquidity, right? And when you provide liquidity, of course, you're getting fees between swaps. But how do you know how do you know that, right? So let's say I'm doing not Luna Meth, Luna BLuna, for example. So remember, in this case, with Luna BLuna, this is pretty much like a stable pair. It's not really telling you how much you're getting, right? You're not really being told what your APR is. If you want to know what the APRs are for TerraSwap, boom, this is where you need to go. So I've linked that here, TerraSwap APRs, and look at this Luna BLuna, 25%, 24.5%. That's crazy good, right? So you're not going to get the airdrops, sure, but you're going to get really high APR. And if you care more about Luna than anything else, like you're a Luna Maxi maybe, then this is a super great pair to be in. Now the Ank UST, I think there are better farming opportunities, but some of the other ones that I was pretty interested in, let's see if I can do this by... okay, so it looks like it may be difficult for me to find, but you can look at all the different pairs here. Okay, well, ETH, yeah, There we go. I mean, ETHUST, this is pretty good. 87.85. Really? That's absurd. Absurdly good. Okay, but this one's also amazing that we're getting METH and BETH, both ETH sort of stables. Now you're exposing yourself to multiple protocols, so smart contract risks and all that. But 17.5% on Ethereum, that's really good, really good. So again, I'm not like advocating for anything. I'm just sort of trying to expose you guys to like the under the hood, sort of like where are people getting all these cool opportunities from. TerraSwap dashboard. This is where you want to be. You want to be looking at the dashboard, looking at the commission APRs, and seeing sort of where you want to provide liquidity. So that's TerraSwap. We're doing good. All right, Mirror. So like if we really want to talk about Mirror, then we need a whole other video, and I've done a whole other video, and I think that Donku's done a whole video. I think that Taiki's done a whole video. Like pretty much anyone who's talked about Terra has done a video on Mirror. But basically what Mirror offers is short strategies, like shorting synthetic stock tokens, and they're also a part of the famous delta neutral strategy on the Terra ecosystem, which can help you get up to like 40 to 45% APR/APY depending on your strategy for stables. So like there is a way that you can take UST and use it with Mirror to get 40 to 45% APR. Now I have done a video on that. Again, Donku has done a video on that. Taiki's done a video on that. Many people have done videos on it. So basically what you need to know about Mirror is that you have these synthetic stocks that you can pool against UST, or that you can short for additional APR. So like for example, if you wanted to farm this, I don't know, Netflix, for example, there's a short farm and there's the long farm. Long just means you're holding it, kind of like you're long on it, so you're expecting appreciation. So you would need like half Netflix, half UST. That said, I might jump to Spectrum next instead of Nexus, but we'll talk about Nexus actually. That said, you can get these tokens, the M Netflix or the M whatever, and you can auto farm these or auto compound these on Spectrum, and I believe also Apollo. So I wouldn't necessarily farm on Mirror. I would farm on one of the auto compounders because I just don't like exposure to farm tokens. And as cool as Mirror is, I would prefer it for that to just be auto compounded back into the pool. So Mirror, cool place to be. Check out a bunch of videos on the delta neutral strategy for UST until you understand it. I also have a delta neutral calculator. I believe it's on my Twitter pinned message. If you can't find it there, feel free to message me. I'll send it to you. I believe it's a free calculator. So there you go. That is Mirror. You have synthetic stocks, and it's part of the delta neutral strategy. But remember, you can auto farm these or auto compound all of those liquidity pools on Apollo and Spectrum. So, and that's what I recommend, just to avoid additional work and exposure to farm tokens. Now let's look at Nexus. So Nexus has a bright future ahead of it, according to its dev team and according to a lot of its believers. But it's already doing some pretty cool things that I think can assist. So if you go into so what I am excited about is the future prospects of Nexus. Now, one of those things that I was super excited about a while ago was the potential to have the delta neutral strategy automated for us, because it is kind of an involved strategy once you learn it. And they have sort of said they might do that. But what you can do is you can take your B Luna over here and you can deposit your B Luna, and you can get what I believe is N Luna, and you can farm your N Luna against PSI, or you can NF against PSI. Now, granted, PSI is a super volatile coin, so there may be a lot of impermanent loss, so be aware of that. You can also just put these into the vault if you'd prefer to do that. So ETH at 8.46% APR, that's really good. I think that would just be, there you go, right? I think most of the highest APRs for Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain are around this, and then you have to deal with gas prices, which are going to eat heavily into that APR unless you're doing a whole bunch, unless you're dropping tens of thousands of dollars. You're going to eat up your APR with gas fees. So here you can get 8.5% APR on BETH. That's great. Now we did talk about that TerraStation, or not TerraStation, TerraSwap, where you're getting like 15% on Ethereum, which is really, really good. So keep that in mind as well. All right, that's Nexus. I know that they're doing more things, guys. I'm just saying what they're doing right now, like what's available right now. So Spectrum and Apollo are both yield aggregators. I did a video on this, I think last week, on these two, but I did want to make some clarifications because, oh my goodness, some things were painfully obvious on reflection. And actually, I've even used Spectrum, and I like Spectrum a lot. So the fact that I forgot this was a bit embarrassing. But let's just say you doing the delta neutral strategy, right? You're bringing your Amazon UST over here, but you want to auto compound it, and you're seeing this nice 23.67% APY, and you want to know how much of that is being auto compounded into itself automatically and how much you're gaining in spec tokens. So you click this auto compound here, and it tells you spec reward is 7.16% APY, and then from auto compound you're getting 16.51%. So you add these two together and you get the 23.67% APY. That's it. So this is really good for all of those mirror pools, and it's also good. There's other ones here as well. I think if I just sort by APY percentage, not descending. Is it only going to do? Oh, here we go. So, for example, you can see the Nexus Ethereum Psi, you're getting 500%. Now, if that's tempting enough for you to overcome the potential impermanent loss, go ahead. For me, it's not. Me personally, I'm going to wait. I would wait because I want to see Psi do the amazing things it has on its roadmap before I invest, because it's very ambitious. So there's a whole bunch of these, with higher APYs. Whatever you want to do. This is just an auto compounder. You know how these things work. So Spectrum is an auto compounder. Apollo is an auto compounder. Apollo also has the farmers market, which we talked about. Here, if you want to see the specs, you can click these three dots, and it tells you the original APR, it tells you what the APY will be when it's compounded, and it tells you what the fees are. And I am happy to pay fees to not be exposed to farm tokens. So there you go. And you can also do the same sort of farms. You can compare these rewards to the Spectrum rewards, whatever, if you would like to. The farmers market, as we said before, is a pretty cool place where you can provide liquidity, sort of like a launchpad, and you get these, I believe they're doing Halo tokens right now, which is cool. Angel Protocol is one of these sort of up-and-coming Terra protocols. So don't have too much time to talk about. We're going to keep moving on. So the next one is Pylon. Pylon's a launch pad. I think one of the big ones that I even did a video about was the Whale Launchpad. You would deposit Pylon, and you get your Whale tokens vested to you over a period of time. I believe you have to wait 3 months before you can even start claiming. So it's a cool option as an American because I can't access IDOs otherwise, at least not in most cases. So there you go, Pylon. There are some other things you can do with Pylon, but this is, I think, the biggest pull. Now, Kujira is getting a lot of attention lately. I've done a video on Kujira in the past, but it's definitely worth another mention because what it allows you to do is get discounted. People have definitely heard, wow, that's amazing. People have definitely heard about this now. So when I did the video, like, these numbers were minuscule. Maybe we can thank Donku for this because he got liquidated recently, and the people who won in that exchange were the Kujira bidders, who get liquidations. So basically here, what you'll do is you will take your UST and you will bid on either BLUNA or BETH, and you can bid on these premiums. Lower premiums will usually get the liquidations, and what happens is basically when someone is liquidated, your bid will be fulfilled, and you will get their collateral at a discount, which is the premium. So you can think of the premium as a discounted rate, or you can think of getting in a premium amount. It's totally up to you how you can conceptualize it, but there you go. So it's a cool protocol. I have a whole Kujira video. Feel free to watch that. There are probably a few other Kujira videos out there, so I think this is a really cool protocol. I like having the liquidation power in the people, like decentralized rather than centralized, because generally speaking, it reduces premium. So I think that's good for the liquidated, generally speaking. And finally, we can look at Lotera. This isn't really my thing. I think I call it degen gambling, but it's just a lottery. So you can buy some tickets, wait for the draw, and if you win, you got prizes. There may be more to it, but this type of protocol doesn't really appeal to me. It just feels a lot like gambling, which I know people say like any investment's gambling. I would disagree. So if this is your thing, I mean, it's really pretty. Go for it. It's pretty cool. So there we go. Those are the top protocols. The things that I am probably most interested in is like getting more Luna. So, staking Luna on either Terra Station, Anchor, or Stater, or Luna BLUNA on Terra. If we look back at that, the Luna BLUNA, 25%. That's so good, right? So that's another really good option for Luna Maxis. And Delta Neutral Strategy is fantastic. Nexus should be doing some interesting things. Spectrum and Apollo, both great yield aggregators. Pylon, Launchpad, Kujira for liquidating or getting cheap Luna. So you can sort of park some UST over there, and just like if there's a flash crash. Also, I personally, this is sort of my own opinion, but I personally think that when we had that big market adverse event, whatever you want to call it, people call them corrections, people call them dips. I just call them adverse events, because I don't want to project any future ideas onto the event. So when we had that big downtrend, I guess you could say, or Luna did really well, and I think that's because of, I think maybe it could be because of Kujira. So a lot of people are getting liquidated across all chains, but on the Luna chain, where liquidation has been heavily decentralized, those liquidations got eaten up really quickly at low premiums. So I think potentially that was acted as a buffer, a downward buffer for the Luna coin, which made it look really good, which got a lot of buy-in, and who knows where we went from there. But I think that Kujira was really good for Luna there. But that's just my own theory. I don't know if that's exactly true, but Okay, Twitter influencers. So people to follow on Twitter, of course, the official Terra Twitter, Terabytes. Great little pieces of, it's a Terra podcast. Great for Terra information. Terra Daily, Terra News, Mars Protocol. I included Mars Protocol because it's a very anticipated up-and-coming protocol. If you want to learn more about it, follow their Twitter, join their Discord, all that kind of stuff. Of course, the best way to participate in a protocol or be early on a protocol is to be in the Discord, but it's a full-time job, in my opinion, just maintaining a presence in Discords for IDOs or whitelists or whatever. So you really have to pick them meaningfully in order to maximize, your ability. And then I included Danku, because Danku does really, really good stuff on the Terra Station, not Terra, on this ecosystem, the Terra Luna ecosystem. So his videos, fantastic. His Twitter posts, good. So there you go. This was hopefully a semi-comprehensive guide to the Terra Luna ecosystem. Hopefully now you can confidently go into this network and explore all the different protocols and start farming your yield responsibly. Whew. If you want to support my work, if you want to see these videos early, you can join my Patreon, link down in the description. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day.